so that we can exercise our responsibility of educating our children and teaching our children the truth. And not to say just because the person next to me, if they look like a Mohawk, I'm not going to tell my sons that they are Mohawk. I'm going to identify who is Mohawk only because of what their identity is and how they exercise their identity. And I will not allow my sons to work with any of you either, unless you are working from within your true identity as a human being. The struggle for your humanity has begun. We are in a battle now, full-blown. A war the likes of what this world has never seen, because this war is being fought in the human intellect. And it's a struggle for you to keep your humanity. Try to keep your humanity when all this insanity around you is forcing you down the path of working against it. How could you kill 60 million buffalo? Think about that. How could you do that? You can say, that was 120 years ago. It wasn't me. You know who that was? That was your grandparents. Think about that. Let's get together and say, let's kill 60 million cats and we'll pay you $10 for every cat head that you bring here. You would say that's insane, right? Well, let's kill something smaller, 60 million birds. You would still say that's insane. But yet you have done it. And you have not corrected it. You know about it, and you still allow it to continue. If you had information of somebody that was killed 50 years ago, if you have that information, and you say nothing about it, aren't you an accomplice? Yes, you are. You are guilty. Return to your humanity. And it is not going to be easy for you. For you, it will be the hardest. And the reason why it will be the hardest for you, because the path that you are on has been trampled ahead of you by a bunch of insane people. And at the end of the day, you find that the people you have been following are insane. What do you think is going to happen to you at the end of that day? Well, insane people led you. Where do you think that they led you? Do you think that you're not going to be subject to the world that they've created? This is why it will be harder for you. This, when you experience that struggle and that harshness, then you will be able to identify that you are on the path. Come back home. We are waiting for you. Tell them.
I also want to mention, glad everybody's here. Thank you for listening to our words. Also, the fact that we are here at the nighttime and Grandmother Moon, her face is out for everybody to see. It's the full moon tonight. I just want to mention, because every full moon on the mountain, we have a moon ceremony. That's for the females and the males to get together, to work in balance with one another. The night before the full moon, excuse me. So we had a moon ceremony last night on the mountain, and everybody is walking there. It's just up the hill above the statue. What's that statue called? Obelisk. And that's where I know every time, once in a while, we see some people here from occupied Montreal, but it's very important that we find the ways to get together to continue this. I'm really glad to see that you guys continue talking and not let this motion die. That just because the people were removed from the square, you didn't give up, that you still continue to meet. Wherever you meet is good, whether it's out in the cold or above where everyone used to be. But I wanted to mention also that we people meet on the mountain. It's not only like political reasons, but for spiritual and ceremonial. You have to use your ceremony to make you stronger for all the things that are going to come soon. And we don't want our politics to overwhelm us. Our ceremonies and our politics go together. They're not separate. And that is the way that the females and the males can share with one another, how we can reconnect with our Mother the Earth, because that's the time when we do the moon ceremony where you can get your energies back. Because I know when you guys meet for all these things, it drains you, but when we have the moon ceremony, this is where we draw from our grandmother the moon and Sky Woman, Aruba, Orneonesu. And I just wanted to mention that because maybe some of you are not aware that we do meet in other locations because we have to return back to our ceremonies. It's not just our politics and our laws that are important, but the ceremonies help us strengthen our spirits. So,
where is that ceremony is held?
Up the hill on the, what's it called?
Near the Tam-Tams on Mount Royal.
Yeah, where the statue is?
Where the statue, about 100 meters behind the statue, up the hill.
Okay, we'll open the floor to a few questions that people may raise their hand that they had questions before we move on until you have maybe another speaker or to close the night. So if anybody has any questions, and before we start with the questions, our website is mohawktraditionalcouncil.org. So if you need directions or you want date and times or anything else, our email address, everything you can find on there, and then we can help you find your way to the mountain to the moon ceremony.
Sorry, when it's going to be? Because I was listening, but I didn't know.
It's the night before the full moon. Every moon, it's the night before.
So it was yesterday.
So it was last night we had the ceremony there.
Oh, it's already done.
Every month.
You had a question?
Okay.
Yeah, so are you inviting people in the movement to go back home as in your home? Are you offering, are you just offering to the 16 who cup themselves? Or is this, because I'm sure there's many people here who respect what you said and respect the point of view and want to learn. And so I'm wondering what sort of invitation is this? Is this an invitation for people who want to, is this to do ceremonies? Is this something that we do a couple of weekends? Is this a lifelong experience of joining the community? And I felt that, I could be wrong, but I felt sometimes you were inviting and then pushing away. So I'm just wondering if you could clarify that. Like what sort of engagement are you talking about? What sort of learning process we can get involved in? And please know that a lot of people here are very interested in going there, but it'd be nice if you just explain maybe exactly what you're offering.
We are inviting and pushing away at the same time. We're inviting the people who have open minds and who are willing to work in balance, to bring the balance back between the male and the female. But at the same time, we're pushing away. We don't want anybody who has this male-dominant mentality. We don't want it. It has no place in this world. It has no place with us. This is not how the Kanawaki people work. It's not